Action.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another rearing episode of the Howard Thurman Center's Common Thread podcast. My name is Issa Kenyatta, and I'm joined by two lovely co-hosts, Amanda Dowd.
Hi, guys.
And our new co-host, Mo Alhansam?
Hey,
Yeah.
Al-Hassan.
Al-Hassan. Oh, man.
Close enough.
Okay, close enough. Well, we're happy to report that we have two new co-hosts actually on the show with us. Our fourth one, we want to keep a little mystery of that. Do you want to
You guys have to tune back in.
tune back in next
That person
week?
will be here at our next episode.
Yes,
Yes.
she's really cool. I
She's
promise.
wonderful. Yeah.
But today we even have an awesomer guest with us today. We have Jonathan Panos from the BU Wellness Center here at Boston University, of course. He's a junior, and he's also studying Sargent College of Health Rehabilitation Sciences. So thank you for joining us, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So today's episode is really primarily talking about Halloween on campus, right? It's the most hectic time of the year. We have tons of things going on campus. And it's important to kind of like get that information out to freshmen about not only how to have fun on campus, but how to really, be safe during the campus times.
Yeah,
So I want to ask everyone, like, how was your, of course, Mo, you are a freshman, but how was your freshman experience on campus during Halloween? Let's start with the old heads. Amanda.
I guess I am the oldest. I'm in my senior year. There was a freak snowstorm my first Halloween here, so there was at least a few inches of snow on the ground, and then it was still coming down. And I remember the big night. I mean, I think I went out a couple nights, but the big night that I went out with all my friends, like there was just snow everywhere, and I was supposed to be a Greek goddess, which is a great costume.
Oh,
It doesn't really go with
Athena?
snow. No, it was just a kind of a general Greek goddess.
okay.
I wasn't ready to commit to one. But I remember I had to wear like Skechers underneath my costume because I didn't have any shoes. I couldn't wear sandals.
Right.
So it kind of ruined the effect a little bit. But what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
But it was fun.
Amanda the Goddess.
Yes, of course.
Jonathan, tell us, what was your
About-
freshman year Halloween like?
Okay, so my freshman year Halloween, I was also a Greek goddess. No,
It's a theme.
I wasn't. What did I do? Just like every other freshman, we crept the streets of Alston trying to find a party or two or three or four. What was my costume? Basically, okay, you know those like little T-shirts with the little like tuxedo like printed onto it?
Yes.
Yeah, I just happened to have one of those, and I did not want to get a costume, so I just threw that on and like made that my costume, and that's all I did. And then I just walked down the streets, but I don't know. Went to a couple of parties, didn't do much, and then just came back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the chiefest costume is the best costume.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right?
be honest.
I
The one
went
where you
hard
don't-
my freshman year. I spent the most money that I spent in the past 3 years.
How much did you spend?
I think it was like $40.
Wow.
It was
That's
an investment.
committed.
I was really committed to being a Greek goddess. So.
So wait, Mo, so tell us, like, of course this is your first year, but what have you been for Halloween? Tell us, like, your favorite costume.
That's actually, I can't actually think of a costume that I've. I don't know. My first Halloween, I was Spider-Man.
Hey.
So that was the
Classic.
coolest
Nice.
costume. Everything else has been like me trying to be cool by not wearing a costume.
No, no.
Oh, see, there you go. See, I wear the best costume every year. I'm Issa Kenyatta from the Howard Thurman Center.
You don't
And,
dress
you
up.
know-
Oh, that's scary.
Are you saying you don't dress up? You're not one of those
I
people.
might be confirming nor denying
No.
that I dress up during Halloween. But yeah, so like we said, like Halloween is a pretty awesome time of the year. Even if you don't dress up or even if you're just being yourself. See, that's always a good thing to be on Halloween. But let's talk about switching gears a little bit to what that costume can mean. So recently I read a pretty interesting article on Psychology Today by Dr. Kate Yarrow. And basically her article was talking about the psychology of the Halloween costume. And so I wanted to ask just from perspective from you guys at the table today, what do you think of that? Do you think that sometimes as young people, we put on different costumes so we get to be a different person that night? Do we change our persona? And then afterwards, I'll follow up with a question maybe about like a quote from here. So we can just start with you, Jonathan.
It depends how we look at the question. Like, do we as college students put on costumes because we are trying to truly be someone else? I don't think so. For me, and I think for at least my friends, we dress up just because, I don't know, we're just college kids. We like to have fun. I mean, everyone else is kind of doing it. It's fun to dress up like a Pikachu if you want to dress up like that, or a lumberjack and go out to a couple of parties with your friends, or even like not going out to parties, like doing anything. Dressing up is just kind of fun. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're trying to be something else, in my opinion.
Right. Completely understand that opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really about expression. You know, that one night I get to not just be East of the College student, I could be Superman if I wanted to.
Right.
Amanda, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that there is a little bit. I think it's kind of a two-part thing. There is a little bit of anonymity in a costume, so maybe people feel comfortable maybe getting a little crazier. But then again, we're college students. Do college students really need that much of a reason to be crazy at parties? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're channeling like an inner part of yourself? Like, were you an inner goddess your freshman year?
Always. Always.
Ooh,
My
look
whole
at
life,
that.
actually. Yeah, I mean, there is a little bit of that. I will say that I personally have always chosen costumes that hold a little bit of an appeal for me for whatever reason. I mean, do I actually want to be a witch or a vampire? No. But do I enjoy stories about them? Absolutely. So yeah, it's a little bit fun to role play, I guess.
Yeah.
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 I think the appeal behind wearing costumes is that you get to wear something that's weird and is socially acceptable.
Breaking the
my
norm.
suite mate is going as Perry the Platypus this year.
Oh, Perry.
That's awesome.
So,
Where's Perry? Where's that?
Perry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb. It's
Nice.
good.
Yeah, so he'd be seen as like a weird, socially awkward person if he had worn that any other day. But
On a
Halloween
regular
sort
Yeah.
day,
of,
walking on Comm Ave.
Halloween
Yeah.
Yeah.
sort of breaks those boundaries. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think also we get to be someone that we're sometimes not, you know, like you said, you know, you don't have to be Perry the Platypus. Maybe you really want to be a vampire that night, or maybe you really want to be a Greek goddess, or maybe you really want to be the Grim Reaper that night, something completely opposite of who you are. And so when we start thinking about people going out to parties, you know, like, and we have alcohol involved, that can be like a pretty scary scene of people trying to act more than who they are. And Halloween like is notoriously known, especially in the residence life world, as the day that no one wants to be on call because there are so many incidents that do occur.
Well, the hospital transports.
Yeah, there's a lot of like things that happen because it is a huge like party scene that night. And so, Jonathan, what do you think about trying to keep people healthy during that time, coming as a health ambassador?
Well, I think, okay, just taking it from my own experience, especially like freshman year, I did a lot of traveling from going to party, and sometimes I would end up getting separated from the group, and it would just be one or two people, or sometimes I'd be by myself just because of the hustle and bustle of what's going on. So I think if I was to give a safety tip, it would definitely be to travel in pairs or in groups, and especially in light of the situations that have been happening at BU lately, with, you know, assaults and stuff like that. I think it's really important now more than ever to really travel together and to always have safety at the back of your mind when you're going out on Halloween. And I think that's especially important for freshmen that might not know the area that well.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. I don't think it's the time to necessarily be like going out with an entirely new group of people you've never been out with before.
Yeah.
You know.
I read it. I was talking about the article with Psychology Today, and there's an interesting quote that Dr. Kit Yarrow said, and I'll read that off. It says, "Young adults are in the stage of psychological development where trying on different roles has strong allure. It's their job to figure out who they are. Halloween is the ultimate role play day, so it's no wonder nearly 3/4 of 18 to 24-year-olds plan to wear a costume." So
unless you're Issa Kenyatta.
Unless you're Issa Kenyatta, of course.
You're the one out of four, so the three of us will be dressed up and you're the one who's not.
Exactly. And so when we start thinking about keeping people safe, we also have to really think about like that mindset too. So I wanted to see, do you guys agree with that? Do you think that college students are more subjective to like types of issues happening on Halloween because they're trying on different costumes, looking for themselves, or is it really not that deep?
What do you think?
I think that it might have, there is a little bit of the anonymity of a costume and, you know, letting loose and having fun. But I think that it has more to do with the really intense party culture that happens around Halloween with college students. You know, it's definitely, it's a quote unquote holiday. It's not, it's, you know, I use holiday loosely because I don't think Halloween would, you know, you don't get off work for it or anything, but it's not like Thanksgiving where you'll have little friend Thanksgivings at college and you'll have dinner and, you know, it'll be all nice and cute. No, Halloween is a time when people go out, they tend to go hard, they usually drink a little too much, and I think there's definitely that expectation out there. Yeah.
and like I know this doesn't answer the question, but this is just something I was kind of just thinking about. Halloween has changed. Like the idea of Halloween has changed to me like throughout my life. Like when I was younger, I guess it had a little bit more of an innocence to it, where it was really just about going out there, going with your friends, getting candy, trick-or-treating. And then kind of when you come into college, I feel like there's more of this kind of Halloween as a party holiday, and like especially as college students. So I don't know. That was just kind of an observation that I'm throwing out there.
No, yeah, that's a valid one. I think there's a mindset that when you get to college, we have to be cool, like have to be college people. Like we're no
Right.
longer, and you can chime in this too, Mo, if you ever felt like this type of pressure, like now. But like, is there a pressure, you being at the freshman in this incoming class of 2018, is
my
there,
gosh.
I know,
God,
2018,
makes me feel-
is there like a pressure, do you feel as though like, not even if it's particularly with Halloween, but it's like, wow, like everyone else is going to party on Halloween, like I need to do something, like this is college.
All the time. All the time, and people sort of make fun of you for not necessarily being a social recluse, but just not trying to associate yourself with parties and alcohol and drugs and whatnot. And so there's always a stigma associated if you're one of those people who decides to study on a Saturday night or
Yeah.
decides not to
Yeah.
go to a party on a Friday night. So
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you need to like put on a costume? Like, you know what, today I'm gonna be like Batman Mo. Like I'm gonna go out and party and be like a completely different person.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, not really, actually. What she says that the Dr. Kate Yarrow says that most young adults are in the stage of, psychological development, and I agree with that. But some of us like sort of know who we are and decide not to, join, go hard or go home. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. No, that's. I think it's interesting that she kind of generalizes the
Yeah.
whole category because honestly I think that a lot of Americans and a lot of people in general are still trying to find themselves. I mean, we have adults dressing up way into their 50s and 60s.
Right.
So much
Yeah.
fun though.
Yeah,
It is fun.
and there's
I
so
would
much fun
totally
into
be that
it, too.
adult.
Yeah, like you want to be like someone different. It might not be this deep concept of like me
Right.
trying to be a wizard one day,
Right,
like, or
yeah.
go to Hogwarts, even though that
Yeah.
secretly might be true.
You know what? I think there's also a little bit of element. Like, I have the best memories of Halloween when I was a kid. I mean, I was so excited about my costume and picking it out and, running around the neighborhood trying to get as much candy as possible.
Right.
I had so much fun. I had no idea. I remember thinking, God, it's going to suck when I grow up and I can't go trick-or-treating. But, I mean, that's why you have kids, right? So you can just get their candy.
Steal all their candy.
Right.
So, like, can I ask you a question? Like, right now, as like a senior, as a college student, are you still excited around Halloween time? How do you feel?
I am, yeah. But you know what? There is a little part of me that that misses that time when, it was all about you get dressed up and you go trick-or-treating with your family and friends. There is a little part of me that misses that.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love getting to do the college experience, but I think it's just kind of that nostalgia.
Yeah, simpler times.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of my favorite things to do during Halloween, this is kind of completely awkward. I love to
God.
watch The Great Pumpkin with my family.
Charlie Brown!
Yes, and
Aw.
so it's those little things that I think as in college or like what we put out there is that college students go out and go like drink and like they go party, and
Yeah.
I think sometimes freshmen, like Mo said, like you get that pressure to like, oh, I need to do this. But honestly, like I have friends who just go watch Hocus Pocus that night or just go like chill, not go to a party. I think it's important just for freshmen to know that when you do go out there, there's nothing wrong with having a good time.
Oh, no, definitely
But
not.
there's different ways of doing it. There's
Yeah.
not just one way.
Yeah.
But how do you have a good time and stay safe, Mo? I know like the BU Wellness and Health and Wellness Center has a cool new program coming out. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Safety Spooktacular Halloween Kit?
Me or Mo?
Jonathan.
Oh, okay,
Not
cool.
Mo. Jonathan.
So
Long
basically,
guy.
there's it says Safety Spooktacular Halloween Kit is like you said, from the wellness office, and it has just a couple of cool components in it. You can order it online, and in it comes just some candy, because it's Halloween time, and we thought that would be appropriate, and some really useful stuff like a wallet-sized card with emergency phone numbers and resources that you might need if you were ever in a weird situation, let's say. There's safety tips, and there's a BAC chart, a blood alcohol level chart for each student. So if you kind of know if you were keeping track of how many drinks you were having that night, and you want to see, oh, well, what might be my BAC right now? Should I stop drinking? You could look at that card and have a good gauge on how you stand. And also, we have a Lyft card, an Uber card, and a ready-to-party red reusable cup for each student. And basically what that is just like a little red plastic cup, and it has little markings. So it tells you what is a shot, how much, like how many ounces is it, and it gives you a little marking like what is a beer, how many ounces is it, and it's all on that one cup. I mean, obviously, we don't suspect students to bring this little cup around with them to the parties, but it's cool to like see how much a standard beer is, how much a standard shot is, and just by visualizing that on a cup, maybe they can remember that when they go to a party and they pour a drink for themselves.
Yeah, and for those students under 21, there's always, you can see how much a shot of fruit juice would be.
Right,
Absolutely.
or water, or apple juice,
water.
or
Make sure
root
you're
beer.
hydrating properly.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we
No, I
expect.
think that's an awesome idea. I just ordered some for my residence. I'm an RA at 158 160 Brownstone, and I ordered some. And I was like, this is going to be a great idea, and it's a new program kit that came out. And my favorite part about it was the Uber and Lyft coupons and cards, because I think that's also an issue. Like, how am I going to get around? Like, what if something does go wrong that night, and like I need to get back to campus, or I need to get somewhere really quickly for my friend, and to have those types of like services like Lyft and Uber pair up with BU for it is just an awesome program.
Right.
What kind of candy comes in these packs?
Real
I saw there's
questions.
candy, yeah. That's the most important question. Who are we kidding?
Well, you order one and you will see.
What?
I haven't actually gotten to see what kind of candy they put in
I
there.
want to know if it's like, not that I'm trying to diss you guys, but I want to know if it's quality candy.
It's always quality
Oh,
with the BU
okay.
Wellness
All right,
office.
then.
Let me throw that
Always
out there right
Like,
now.
are we going to get the Smarties and the Dum Dums that always wind up at the bottom of every Halloween pail? Or are we going to get like
And the
the
Tootsie
Hershey
Rolls.
bars and the
Hey, hey,
Reese's?
I like my dubs. It's my
Yeah. Don't diss
But
the Dum Dums.
would you choose a Dum Dum over a Reese's peanut butter cup?
Yes.
No,
So
you
yes.
wouldn't. You would not.
maybe
No, not at
No.
all.
Absolutely not. Don't lie.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
I'm also
There's
gonna
our
plead the fifth.
answer, ladies and
Johnson and I
gentlemen.
owe the dub trade. There you
Yeah.
go.
So come here.
Look, there we
No.
go.
No.
We're fist bumping right now for anyone that can't see
Man.
this.
What are you
Nice.
gonna do with you guys?
So, just to wrap it on up, like, so now that we know like how to stay safe on campus, what is there to do around Boston during Halloween? So I thought about some different things that happen every year at BU. A huge tradition here, and Mo, this will be your first year actually seeing it. It's from your at the College of Engineering. But we actually had the BU pumpkin drop.
I've been to that.
Yeah, the BU
Yeah.
pumpkin. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, it's been a while since I think I went a couple of years ago, but it's cool. They literally hurl pumpkins off the roof of Metcalf.
Mhm.
And then I think if I remember correctly, they laid a tarp down and they just splatter everywhere.
Yeah. And they're
So
filled with paint too, right? Like there's.
I don't
'cause
remember.
I saw a video about it, and apparently it's supposed to teach students about gravity. But I was like,
There
it feels
it
like
is.
it's a lot more like
Just
know,
gravity.
So it's a great way to learn about gravity.
Yes,
guys.
and if those of you who like
and
a little bit of
trajectory.
destruction, if you're into that,
Yeah.
absolutely, it's going to be your thing.
And if you're not into seeing pumpkins smash on the ground at 12:30 p.m. October 31st at the Metcalf Science Building, they also have a costume contest, so you can try out being a Greek goddess, or my friend said he wanted to be a whoopee cushion this year. So
A whoopee
He's gonna
cushion.
dress up
Yeah.
like a whoopee
I like
That
cushion.
would be
that.
awesome. Or you can just get your T-shirt with a bow. You can do whatever you want. Compete in the costume contest, and there's also pumpkin decorating too during there. But any other events that you guys usually do, or are looking forward to?
Well, really, very recently, me and a group of friends, we just met up in one of our friends' Stuvie room, and we just did pumpkin carving. My friend just bought a ton of pumpkins and got a couple of kitchen knives, and we just made little things out of them. It was pretty
Cool.
cool. I've never done it before. That's why it was really cool for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I carved a pumpkin over the weekend.
Oh, cool.
His name is Charlie.
I was just
You
about to
named
ask
it?
his
His name
name.
was Charlie.
You have to name the pumpkin.
I didn't name mine.
No?
No.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
So, Jonathan, you also spoke to me briefly about a program happening at CGS with
Yeah.
your fraternity. You want to talk a little bit about that?
So it's actually through IFC in Panhell, and it's called, I hope I can get the name. It's the Not So Scary Haunted Hallway, I believe. Like you said, it's in CGS, and basically it's for children in different areas of Boston, in areas that might not be the safest to go trick-or-treating at night. So basically BU is going to be hosting all those children from those towns, and we're going to allow them to trick-or-treat here at BU.
Nice.
And
Heard
college,
about this,
yeah,
yeah.
and college students, like you guys should totally come, are going to be handing out candy, and hopefully the kids are going to be dressing up and they'll have a good time. So it's a nice
Cool.
alternative for people that won't feel comfortable trick-or-treating in their own towns.
Yeah, no, I like that. Do college students get the trick or treat too? No, like I think that's an awesome idea. We also have another program happening this Saturday on the 25th. With the siblings program, where they trick or treat on Bay State Road. So the siblings program is a program sponsored by the Community Service Center, and it's basically where older siblings who are BU students mentor like middle schoolers, elementary students. And so every year they have like their Halloween party, and so they take the students on Bay State Road and they trick or treat at the different houses. So I think providing those different avenues or opportunities for students to trick or treat, or like for kids to trick or treat, is really important, especially
Right.
with like in the city. It might be a little harder to do that, you know?
Right.
So
It's
yeah.
incredibly important. So I know a lot of people from my fraternity, Sigma Phi Epsilon, are going. So I urge you guys to come to that if you can.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, any last thoughts on Halloween, you guys? I mean, I'm pretty excited. Maybe I'll dress up. I'm thinking about it.
You know what? I'm normally a really big scaredy cat about scary movies, but I think I want to watch some this year.
Yes.
Insidious
Yeah.
2, I heard, is really scary.
No, we're not doing
I heard
Insidious.
that was
I've
really
listened.
scary.
I've gone over this many times with my friends. It's not happening.
I think
Any,
that was
I don't
good.
want something that has to do with
Oh,
like
those
the
Hunger
devil,
Games.
Yeah.
or like that freaks me out. I don't want to even touch that. But if it's like scary, like in a
not scary.
in a non-satanic way,
Oh,
I'm all
okay,
over
okay.
it.
Nice.
Mm.
Yes. So Hocus Pocus will also be having a viewing of Hocus Pocus. Do you guys know the movie Hocus Pocus? What?
I've heard of
It's
it, but
a
I've
Heard of
never
it.
famous
seen
Disney
it.
movie about 3 witches. It
Oh,
actually takes
it's-
place
yeah,
in
yeah.
Longmeadow, Massachusetts.
Oh.
That's where it was shot at, but it was supposed to take place in Salem.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really popular movie, so there's also a viewing there that's happening on the Calm Lounge at 7 p.m. on October 28th.
Cool.
So, but without further ado, you guys, I think we can definitely sign off with this episode. I think it was
Yeah.
pretty awesome talking about Halloween.
Yeah.
We should have more like conversations about like holidays.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe for our Thanksgiving episode, we'll just eat and we'll turn on the
Yeah.
microphones.
You guys can listen to us chew.
absolutely. So, thank you, Jonathan, for being on the show with
Yeah.
us today.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome to have you here. Any last words you want to say for student health or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, so I just want everyone to remember to order the Safety Spooktacular Halloween kit. It's going to be awesome. Free candy.
Where can they order it?
They can order it on the wellness page, I believe. I will double check that, but check there.
Yeah.
We'll post it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will post it.
Post the link.
And yeah, that's basically it.
Great.
Happy
Nice.
Halloween, everybody.
Well, thank
Yes.
you
Yeah.
so much.
So, signing off. Amanda, do you want to start sign off or? Yeah.
Well, first of all, Mo, welcome to the show.
yes,
Thank you
we
for
have to-
doing your
Thank
first
you, thank
episode
you.
with us. We're so excited to have you.
Yeah.
And you guys have a safe and fun and spooky Halloween, whatever you do.
Yes.
Take pictures of costumes. Definitely do that.
And post
Dress
it to
up.
us.
I'm looking at Issa.
Yes. And post it to our wall. Send us a message, and maybe you'll see
Yeah.
yourself posted on the comment thread
Yeah.
podcast Facebook page. We also have a Twitter and YouTube page as well.
Mhm.
So, and remember, everyone, no matter where you come from or where you're going, we all share in the same thread, the common thread here at the Howard Thurman Center. So, thank you.